Welcome to the ultimate Revenant quick start guide. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the latest hero to hit Apex Legends. So what you guys have just seen there is use of the activatable ability. It is a grenade which detonates and causes a 10-second silence on the enemy team. It also does a little bit of damage, but its main function is to silence the enemy. It is the only ability in the game which stops enemy players using their abilities. It is incredibly powerful. However, it must be noted, do not use this as an opener if the enemy is firing at you. The way to kill people in Apex is to shoot them. This will not stop them firing. Here you can see it was a good use of it because they were trying to pick each other up, managed to get the grenade in, silence them, they can't use their abilities, then I can just drill them. The rule of thumb with it is use it when the enemy is not firing at you effectively, because if they're firing at you, well, you're going to take damage and you want to be shooting back at them. The other thing to note with this guy is he moves faster when he's crouched, and it is considerably faster. And I will show you guys some real-world examples of this and just how powerful this is because you move so quickly crouched. It is just crazy. The other thing he's got as well is increased wall climb distance. You can climb stuff like this easily. You can pretty much climb literally double the height of a standard hero in the game, or at least any other legend in the game right now, which is quite good. So let's take a look at a real-world example of the crouch in play. So I'm going to get pushed by a Pathfinder. Look at that. This feels disgustingly OP, I'm not going to lie. But hey, this is how the hero is right now, so use it to your advantage. Okay, what we're going to do now, guys, is take a look at the end of a match. We end in a victory here, and it's actually quite a good ending to this game. But I think this shows a really good sort of plan or usage of the hero. Now, what we're going to do here is focus on the ultimate and focus on when I use this ability and focus on just using all of his other abilities in concert. This is a very aggressive hero. If you are a Wraith player, you will enjoy playing this hero because you have got moments where you can just go in and be absolutely ridiculous. So let's just recap the way the ultimate works. You place down a totem, but it is crucial, guys, that you interact with the totem to get the buff from the totem, because if you don't click on the totem when it has been deployed, you will not get death prevention, which means when you get killed or when you get knocked down, you will just be knocked down, and it's a big feels bad moment. You have to interact with it to get that protection. Now, what makes this such a powerful ultimate is when it's available, you can just rush the enemy. You can almost no-brain them. You can push them like crazy. And that is something the enemy just won't expect, especially if they've got you pinned down. And all of a sudden, you rush into the enemy. You go at them. It's just crazy. They knock you down. It doesn't matter. You get teleported back to your totem. Now, of course, it has some downsides, namely, if the enemy know where it is, they can camp it. You can also have a caustic can throw down his gas bags all over it, which isn't a good time for you when you get ported back after you get knocked down. Okay, it's go time. We've identified where the enemy is. I've placed the totem in a pretty protected position, and we've both clicked on it. You can see by the visual effect on my ally, I look the same as well. This is a visual cue to the enemies that we have death prevention active. Of course, the fact that you teleport after they knock you is a massive hint as well. Okay, you can see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, I've got a quarter of death protection available. This means I can still be super aggressive. One thing to note though is when that disappears, guys, well, don't be aggressive anymore. Look what just happened. If I was any other hero there, I'm knocked down on the roof and I'm probably killed because he's just going to shoot me again. I believe that was with the charge rifle I got hit. However, look at this. I've used the death totem. I'm back in the game. It is just incredibly powerful. It's such a fun ability. A lot of people are saying it's OP right now, but it is just so powerful. You can be so aggressive with it up. It's just, I know I've said it about 6 times in this video, but it is absolutely crazy how aggressive you can be. Of course, in terms of just little hints and tips, you guys know when you're looting stuff, always make sure you're using AD. And I don't know what's going on there with that, but whatever. You always crouch, jump up and down, just try and make yourself a nuisance. So we catch another squad there and manage to take them out. It's all good stuff. It's all good time. Again, you can see here, we're looting. Always keep moving. Make yourself difficult to hit. Now, I want to touch on the activatable ability because I think a lot of people are going to use this almost as a fight opener, especially when they're getting shot. Don't do that. Watch this here. We can see where the Wraith is because we've picked her up on the ultimate from Bloodhound. Now, I'm just shooting at her. There is an argument you could say, well, Sty, you could have thrown your passive at her. But why? Instead, I'm just going to rail her with the L-Star. I'm just going to use my crouch so I'm more difficult to hit. And we just take her out. It's more effective to just shoot people to kill them than throw your activatable ability at them. The only time I think you want to use that at the start of a fight is if you completely catch the enemy off guard. If it's late game, they might have their ultimate available as well. Now, this obviously means they won't be able to use that ability. Also, it means they can't use their activatable abilities as well. So it is a very powerful ability. And remember, it lasts for 10 seconds. Still, I don't want you guys going out there and throwing this to open every single fight. I want you to sort of make the decision in your mind. Should I be shooting the enemy or should I throw it at them? What I'm going to show you right now is an example of throwing this at the enemy, because we are about to catch a bloodhound out of position, and a bloodhound that doesn't know where I am. So I use my crouch ability to, well, crouch up onto him, and I instigate the fight straight away with my activatable ability. This means he can't use his abilities for 10 seconds. This means I can be aggressive. I managed to get a few shots onto him as well, of course using the L-Star, which is a massively powerful weapon, which isn't a special drop weapon anymore. It doesn't come down with the drop pods. It's just on the map. You can pick it up. I believe the Devotion has taken its place there. So yeah, I mean, it's just so powerful. All right, so we're going to take a bit of time here just to get ourselves back up to full health, use a large shield battery, and then we're going to use a med kit. So up until this point in the game, you guys have seen me be aggressive with the ultimate. You guys have seen me initiate a fight with my activatable ability. There is so much you can do with this hero. It is frightening. I think if you're a Wraith main, you're really going to enjoy this hero, because you can just be stupidly aggressive all of the time. Well, I say all of the time, especially when you've got your ultimate available. And we are going to see towards the end of this video where I use my ultimate and it just allows us to get into a really good position, be super aggressive, and ultimately secure the win. So a lot of people have been discussing this hero, whether it's super OP, it's broken, and there's, you know, conspiracy theorists out there saying, well, it is a new hero in Apex, so, or a new legend, I should say. It needs to be strong, right? Us people are not going to play him. We all remember Crypto when he came out. It wasn't necessarily that great, was he? Revenant is not the same type of hero. He's very much a hero you can pretty much go straight into playing, and it's just you're gonna pop off. It's gonna be awesome. All right then, so let's just go through the end of this video here and do a bit of running commentary. So we're back into this position. We're going to get ourselves back up to full health. Now, one thing to notice here is I don't generally like being backed into corners like this. We could be nade spammed. However, I am checking the zone as it pushes towards us, just in case any stragglers do try to push into this area. So me and my ally, we're at full health. And again, there's only two of us because, well, Revenant's out. If people don't get Revenant, they leave the game, which, by the way, guys, don't do that. At least play the game. It's so frustrating to play like most of your games with two players. It doesn't matter in this one because we win anyway. But maybe that's just the power of Revenant. Anyway, let's go on a mission. So we're trying to find where the enemy is. We're taking it nice and slow. We do have a lower ground position here. We don't want to give it away because if the enemy are above us, they can spam us with nades. They've got the high ground. It's not going to be good for us. So we're trying to play it nice and cool, nice and slow, scouting out all the areas, checking out in front. And I am about to spot an enemy. And as soon as I notice this, I've got a decision to make. Do we use my ultimate? Do we go aggressive? Now, we know there's only 4 squads left. There we go. We can see the enemy. So my immediate reaction is, right, let's do it. Let's drop the totem. Me and my ally click this, and we are going in. I know the totem is safe there. I know nobody's really going to find it, because if they do and they camp it, it's going to be bad news for us if we get knocked down. But this lets us be so aggressive. And with impunity, we can rush into this position, catch this enemy off guard, pump loads of damage into them. Now, there's going to be a bit of a mad fight break out here. A lot of teams coming together. It's going to be a bit of a mess. But we know we can just go in. We can be stupidly aggressive here because what is the downside? If we get knocked down, it doesn't matter. We go back to our totem. But remember, guys, you have to click on the totem or you will not get that buff and it will not work. And it's happened to me a lot, and it's going to have happened to you guys, where you drop it and you just rush into the fight and die. Not great. Okay, so I noticed we're being flanked here from the left-hand side. So I'm just kind of chucking nades all over the place to try and dissuade anybody from flanking us. I'm going to push this guy now, and notice he's dropped down onto the low ground. Again, I kind of want to keep a high ground position. If he was down there, of course, he was slightly out of sight, so I had to drop off my high ground and push him. Managed to get the knockdown as he's just around the corner. So he's out of the fight now. We haven't got to worry about him. Another thing as well, don't worry about securing kills all of the time, especially when you're in the final zones, because you just want to knock people down, remove them out of the game, worry about enemies that can fire at you. All right then, a bit of a mad fight breaks out here. My ally gets taken down, but I've got a really nice position here. I'm going to use my abilities. I'm in there with my active. I'm just firing everything into them. We're just doing as much damage as we possibly can. Take out that guy because he was easy to take out. And then we've got one guy remaining. So this is where we need to push them. And we've got a Peacekeeper. It's pretty lit, the Peacekeeper is. We've got a bunch of options here. We've got him backed into a corner. What can he do? He's going to pop out and we're going to secure the win. So there you go, guys. That is my quick start guide for Revenant, the latest hero in Apex Legends. He's really powerful. If you're an ultra aggressive player, give him a go. You'll be able to do so much with him. Will he get nerfed in future? Probably. He's pretty strong. His ultimate is a really good ability. Hell, if you compare his ultimate to Mirage's ultimate, I mean, Mirage's ultimate, not great. Well, there you go, guys. I've been Stylosa. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember you can follow me on Twitter, which is @Stylosa. It's also the same on Instagram, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, hey guys, you still here? All right, well, I got a little bit of a bonus here. This is what happens when you don't use the totem correctly. So I noticed that we're being pushed, and it's like, oh, cool, they're in the canyon up there. We can just get them. We can trap them. So I'm going to drop down my ulti. Then I'm going to rush in. But notice what I haven't done. That's right, I haven't clicked on it. I do not have death prevention active. I've got so much bloodlust. I'm rushing in as if I've got it available. Like I'm literally standing in the open. Like, yeah, let's go. And then I get knocked. And then I'm like, what? Oh dear. That's embarrassing. Don't let this happen to you guys. If you see the totem get dropped, especially if you are Revenant and you drop it, make sure you click on it because you can't click on it after you've been knocked. And then it is a major feels bad moment. Yeah, and we lose. Oh dear.